Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGP TV. We're round 17 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Bulgaria, and we're back at this fabulous location that is Sevlievo. We've got a fantastic show for you today. Hunter Lawrence, our first guest, already in position. We've also got Tommy Searle coming in, and finally Davide DiCarli, assistant manager to Red Bull KTM Factory Racing over on the DiCarli side. But before we go anywhere, Lisa Leyland, fantastic to be back here in Bulgaria. It's been a while, 2014 for me, but a bit longer for you, isn't it? What, 2009?
Last time I was here was 2000, 2008 and 2009.
Wow.
It's almost 10 years. Makes me feel old.
Where's that time gone?
I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does, doesn't it?
And we've been having a lot of fun, haven't we?
Oh, we've had, well, yeah, we've had a few moments. And I think we're about to get another moment with our next guest as well, Hunter Lawrence on the 114 Motorsports. I see you've turned up in the factory, the Hunter Edition Flippies.
Yep, holding it down, just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Not sure about the socks combo with the flip-flops.
That's the influence of Brother Jet, though.
No, I started this.
Did you?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, the socks are just like a given, you know. You have to run socks and sandals. They both start with an S, and no one really wants to see your big dinosaur toes hanging out the end of a nice set of slides. So.
Yeah.
Especially the kangaroo claws.
Yeah, exactly. So
Anyway,
got to keep them covered up.
let's crack on with the show. Hunter, great to see you again. Welcome to the best motocross track in the world. First impressions. Actually, you've been here before, haven't you? You rode the juniors.
Yeah,
here,
Junior Worlds in
13?
11.
Was it?
I think it was 2011.
Okay. And how was that?
It's been a while. Yeah, it was all right. I rode with a broken growth plate in my shoulder, and I think I got 11th overall or something. So we were just eating painkillers and Nurofen and Panadol the whole weekend. But it was cool, actually. But I was bummed that I had to ride injured because it was the best track in the world.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's cool. You know, it's looking good, and I'm excited to be back, and I'm feeling good and ready to rock and roll. So.
Yeah, and ironically, juniors this weekend are in Australia.
Yeah, exactly, in Horsham. Yeah, we've got quite some Aussie kids down there, and yeah, they've sent all the Euros and the Americans to the end of the world, pretty much down there. So, yeah, it's a cool track down there, and I'm excited to see how everything turns out. You know, it's a first time for the club. It's a little town, so to have such a big event, it's cool, it's exciting.
Well, look, let's crack on. Second time on the studio show this year. The first time was Argentina. You made the podium that day. A lot's happened since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a long season, you know. Argentina was pretty cool. Good weather, good track, everything. So, and yeah, I was on the podium, so hopefully that's like the studio show sort of blessing, let's say. But no, it's been a long season. Been difficult, you know, with injuries and little setbacks and a lot of hurdles to jump over. But yeah, I'm feeling good again, you know, getting my full bike fitness back and feeling comfortable, and no, I'm happy with how everything's going. So we had a good weekend last weekend in Switzerland, so hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling and yeah, have another good weekend and hit our strides and not make mistakes like that one. But yeah, it should be cool.
You said it's been quite a difficult year. Just how frustrating has this year been, though, from MX2 class winner at the Nations to, like you mentioned, a podium in Argentina, just to having the problems that have perhaps just prevented you from realising your full potential?
Yeah, for sure. Words, I haven't found words to put into to fulfil that frustration I've been feeling this year. But for sure, I mean, that's the sport, you know. I'm not the only one that's come in and been like a title contender and then just have a year from hell or just bad luck and injuries and stuff, you know. It's happened before. It's the sport, so yeah, it's just character building, and we'll learn from it, hopefully. And, yeah, just always, now we're just looking forward, you know, just to be better and better and get back to where we believe we should be, you know. So.
Well, Porsche Jonas and Jorge Prado have pretty much dominated this year.
Yeah.
Had you been 100% fit, how much influence do you think you would have had at the top of the championship if you didn't have the problems that you've had this year? Yeah,
I'd like to think I could have been mixing it up with them throughout the whole season, you know. I think if we didn't have, I mean, we were pretty fit with a virus in Argentina, and we were still able to lead a moto for past the halfway point and battle and be quite competitive, you know. And then since then, it's just pretty much gone downhill. And so, yeah, it would have been cool to see if we could keep going with the momentum we came into the season and stuff, and see how things would have turned out. You know, I believe I can do it. I mean, I believe I'm just as good a rider as them both, you know, and yeah, so it would have been cool, but stuff happens, you know.
Well, last weekend in Switzerland, you made it back to the podium, and for us, it seemed, you know, long overdue. I mean, for you, it must have seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, for sure. It felt like since last year was the last time I got a podium, and also it was cool to be able to push the whole way through the moto. You know, it had been quite a long time since I've been able to push.
This was an interesting battle, factory Honda versus not factory Honda.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, me and Calvin, it was a good battle. It's difficult to pass on that track, especially there's a lot of ruts, but it's almost like there's one rut around the whole track that's the main fast line, you know, so it's difficult. But no, it was good. And yeah, like I said, with just pushing through the whole moto, and like last year I made most of my passes in the last 10 minutes, you know. And so, yeah, to be able to push the whole way to the checkered flag was also a good feeling for myself and just a little, like, confidence builder, you know.
Well, looking forward, it's no secret that you're starting a new chapter next year with Geico Honda in the US. Yeah. How much are you looking forward to that? And also, how much will you be looking forward to the Motocross the Nations at the end of the year?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to be moving, to America and stuff. You know, it's all there and stuff, but I'm really trying to just stay in Europe for now at the moment, you know, and then when we're finished here with this season, then okay, you click the mind over to the next goal, what's the next achievement, the next dream and stuff, you know. So yeah, but it should be cool, you know. Nations also should be great. It'll be, for Team Australia, I'm super pumped to be able to represent them again, you know, and to be selected after pretty bad year, let's say, like results wise. I think it's also, I'm pretty honoured to do that, and should be good with my teammates Mitch Evans and Kirk Gibbs, you know, so I'm excited. It should be fun, and to see the guys again at the team, and I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, no time for social media questions.
No, hang on, hold that space. We've got a social media question from a guy called Jeremy Sewer. I don't know if you'd know him.
Who's that?
I have no idea who he is. Some random.
He sounds like a
Jeremy Sewer 91 says, "What noise does a Staubsauger make?"
Staubsauger.
What is a Staubsauger? I don't know. Maybe it's a private joke.
It's not. It's a Staubsauger. That's just, it is a private joke, actually.
Fill us in, then. Fill us in.
It goes,
so it's a vacuum, and you either don't do enough or you do too much because you've got a bit of OCD going on. Is that the deal? Is that
that's just a Smurf. He's always talking crap, you know.
He's just a Smurf.
I only hang around with him just to put up with him.
Does he pay you to hang around with him? To be friends with him? Yeah.
He does, well, look, I mean, we are out of time, but actually, that's one of those friendships, isn't it, that, you know, you built up. Sure. It's a fantastic thing. There was you, there was AJ Shorty. You know. For
sure. I mean, you're going to have great friendships throughout life, and I think it'll be one that I have as, like, you know, a life friend and stuff, which is really cool, actually, and it's quite funny that we came to Suzuki and we were rivals, but, you know, he was going for the title in his last year and I was just coming up as a rookie, so I think we timed it quite well, and there was no, like, tension, and we're like best mates and stuff, you know.
Bromance.
So, a bit of that, and why not? And so he'll be coming over for holidays in Cali and stuff like that, so it should be cool.
Real bromance. Well, look, Hunter, all the best for the next 4 GPs and the Motocross Nations as
Thanks,
well.
Guys.
And
appreciate it.
We'll catch up with you out on the racetrack.
Sounds good.
Hunter Lawrence. Right, our next guest, Tommy Searle, is here, but before we meet him, let's catch up with some action from Switzerland a week ago. The MXGP of Switzerland, presented by IXS. Here's highlights from MX2 Race 2. MX2 Race 2, and once again it was Prado who was quickest out of the gate, came across his rivals and snatched his 21st foxhole shot of the season. Rubini was in 3rd, but Jonas went around the outside, pushed him down to 4th, and then the Frenchman fell on the opening lap. Jonas was in 2nd, with this pass on Ben Watson. But by then, his teammate was already 2 or 3 seconds clear. Valandren made a better start for HRC, and so too, another good start for Marshall Welton. Number 56 for F&H Racing Kawasaki, but he could not keep Hunter Lawrence at bay. The Australian making that pass for 5th place. Thomas Olsen managed to stay upright on the opening lap, and he was also in the mix. For Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, his teammate a few positions behind after a poor start, but he was making light work of the rest of the field. The Kaylee Chervlin, again, another good start inside the top 10. Looking for a solid weekend here in Switzerland. But Covington put on a hard charge, forced his way in to 8th place. Delandren, the factory Honda, and Lawrence on the Honda 114 Motorsport Satellite Squad machine were duking it out in the battle for supremacy. Eventually, though, that went the way of the Australian. That move was for 3rd. Delandren came home in 4th. Marshall Weltin was well positioned at the start of the race in 5th, but by the end of the race he'd been pushed down to 9th. But it was still a good ride for the American. Ben Watson was having an off weekend. Despite starting in 2nd, eventually he found his way back to 7th. First of all, it was the 19 of Thomas Kjær Olsen that made the move, and a couple of laps later, Olsen's teammate Thomas Covington also went through with a daring jump that saw him land hard, but the pass was effective for 6th for Covington. Jorge Prado, though, a clean race. He led every single one of the 17 laps. His teammate, once again, riding roughshod on his #1 KTM. Still managed to bring it home in 2nd. Lawrence was 3rd, Delandren was 4th. But for Jorge Prado, it was another win. 12 race wins now for the Spaniard. He also secured his 9th overall win of the season, his 12th career victory ahead of Jonas and Lawrence, who was back on the podium for the first time since Argentina, and the gap still remains 28 points at the top of MX2. Prado, Jonas lead the way. Thomas Kjær Olsen is 3rd. Welcome back to our studio show here, live on MXGPTV.com. That was highlights from MX2 Race 2 in Switzerland a week ago. But our second guest is in, Tommy Searle, bike at DRT Kawasaki. Tommy, welcome to our studio show. 17th in points. I know that's not where you want to be, obviously, with injuries and stuff. But injury seems to have derailed your campaign again. I was looking back at the stats, and in the 6 years that you've been in MXGP, you've only had 2 years where you've been injury-free. What, 2013, 2016? That's tough going, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it has been tough. Obviously, when I come in 2013, I felt good, and I had quite a decent year. You know, I was fighting for podiums most weekends. I had some rounds where I was 3rd and 4th, but then, yeah, in 2014, I had the crash in Thailand where I broke my wrist, where there was problems with the fuel that weekend. Unfortunately, I was the one that cut out on the jump, so that was a big crash. And then the year after, I crashed again in Thailand. So yeah, just a little bit of trouble with injuries. And then this year, I had one in Argentina, no, in Valkenswaard, where a rider in front just got a bit squirrely up the start straight and took me out, and then I broke my collarbone. So just unfortunate. Other than that, it's been quite good. Yeah.
Just how difficult is it though to have to keep picking yourself up from those knockbacks and to keep remotivating yourself? That must be pretty tough.
Yeah, no, it is really tough. More, not like the physical side of it. Yeah, you come back and you stay fit and you stay strong, but more the mental side. That's what's hard to keep coming back, because you know everyone. I know where I was, and I was fighting for wins all the time in MX2, winning, and then the first year in MXGP I was good. I was fighting for podiums, and I won a heat race, was fastest in a lot of qualifying and stuff. So to take that you're getting set back from injuries and then having to come back each time when you know where you should be, but you know when you're sat injured, everyone else is riding, training, testing, and building their confidence, and you're getting setbacks. That's the struggle. But yeah, it's more mentally that you struggle with. But you know, now I feel good, I feel healthy, so I want to finish the year off strong.
Yeah.
How was your pre-season then coming in? Was it positive? You know, because it took, you know, despite problems, it took until Semarang before we saw top 5 Tommy. You know, 2 solid rides, speed was good, and 5th overall.
Yeah, no, that was good. I came in feeling good with the team in the winter. I went down to Spain. I rode there, trained my trainer. Like off season, always seems to go well. You know, I don't have any problems with that. Or actually, the year before, I hurt my knee in the off season at Glen Helen, so that was a major setback before the season. But this year, everything felt good. I felt strong. I felt confident, and everything was coming easy. I came into Argentina, and I don't know where I was. I think at 9 and 11, so it wasn't too bad way to start the year, because obviously I'd sat out the whole of last year. So I was quite happy with that. But then, yeah, already round 2, my goals was to just be healthy, build, and then before I knew it, I was on the ground on the start straight. And yeah, I thought my shoulder was really badly damaged, but ended up being my collarbone. So it was a reasonably fast turnaround, and I come back. But yeah, it's hard to keep coming back from that. And but overall the year, it's been okay. I got top 5 in Semarang. I think I went 7-7 there, which was my best race of the year. So that was nice. Felt good. Felt healthy. And yeah, I need to get back up there. Really, that's obviously the goal for the end of the season.
All right, well, more from Tommy in a moment. Just a quick reminder how you can stay in touch with us here at MXGP for not just this season, but going forward as well. Well, look, no competition this weekend, but instead a quick reminder of how you can keep up to date with us, everything MXGP.
Apart from MXGP TV, where you can watch all the races live and on demand. That's all MXGP and MX2, all EMX and WMX, and of course the big one, the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations in the USA. Why not stay on track by following us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook? We are also on YouTube as well, otherwise known collectively as our social media platforms.
So if you don't want to miss a thing, then give us a follow. And, you know, it makes sense. Be rude not to, wouldn't it, after all?
Yes, it would. Okay, back to Tommy. Tommy, when you came back from your collarbone injury, it looked like you could actually be a regular front runner, like in Matterley, for instance. We've got a clip of it now. Just how much of this was an eagerness to do well, or were you actually feeling better at this point? Because I know you have mentioned recently that something's perhaps been missing.
No, Matterley, well, first off, I came back in Germany, and then I was just getting back into it there. Then Matterley, obviously, with the home GP and everything, I felt good coming into that race, and like I wanted.
Practice times and everything were like pretty
good.
Yeah,
I think I was second fastest and 6th and something. So yeah, it was good. I liked the track. I liked there. I liked being there, and I just wanted to prove a point really that I could come back. I actually got good starts there, and that helps massively in our class at the minute. Without the start, it's a real struggle. You know, there's a lot of good guys in the class, so it is so important. So I struggled a little bit with that. With I don't know why, I just don't seem to get at the start. Some races I can cut back, and there's been a few where I've got decent starts, but overall it's something I need to improve on. And I think when I improve that will improve the results a lot as well.
Yeah.
Well, last week on live TV, JJ let slip, I think ahead of schedule, that he's the new team manager for Boss GP, and that they're running Kawasaki's. You're a part of that team with Bobby Chef. Is that a challenge that you're looking forward to, you know, working back with him? Yeah,
no, I like JJ. He's been good to me. I raced to the 250s with him, had some of my best years. So his team obviously shut down last year, and now he's team manager. So I think he's excited for it. Yes, a big motivation for him to come back into the sport and run a team, and for me also, it's nice to have someone nice to have him excited for me to be on the team. And yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get back there. And I think with Kawasaki also, their 2019 bike I rode last week, and it's a big step up. So on that, with a good base and some testing and stuff, I think we can have really a solid program.
Okay, well, at the moment there's no official Motocross of Nation news as yet. Are you expecting the call, or do you deserve the call?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because obviously the MXGP riders are struggling at the moment. You know, Dean's out injured, Sean's not performing great. You know, you've had up and down season with injury. Jake's winning the British Championship, but we don't know what he can do in the World Championship.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's difficult for the team manager, Mark Chamberlain. Yeah. He, I think his head's a bit all over the place at the minute, and I think everyone can say that the two guys that need to be in it is Max and Ben.
Right.
And then there's obviously the 3 MX GP riders with me, Sean and Jake. So it's quite difficult. I think either or, you know, for me, it's if I was Mark, it's either or. Jake obviously is winning the British Championship, doing well. Sean and me are struggling a little bit. He was better than me last weekend, and now is the time for the rider to be chosen. So I don't know. I mean, I think you know, I think we have three good riders there. So whoever gets chosen will do a good job, and yeah, we'll see who the team is.
All right, and obviously that team should be announced next week, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm told. So
I think it was meant to be this Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It's now. I think he just delayed a week.
I think he said Tuesday. Didn't really say what Tuesday, so he can keep putting it off.
Tommy, thanks for joining us here. Our third guest is in Davide De Carli, of course. He's team Red Bull KTM factory team manager, assistant manager, I should say, over at the De Carli side. But before we catch up with him, let's check out some highlights from MXGP Race 2 in Switzerland a week ago.
MXGP Race 2 burst into live, this time
The 99 in the 84 kept it clean. But it was Julian Lieber for his and Kawasaki's first foxhole shot of the season. But his teammate ran around the outside through turn 2. Fevre up the inside of Kai Rowley into third. Fevre very lucky to stay on 2 wheels though, as he cased the uphill triple on the opening lap. Kai Rowley was in fourth, but then he got passed by his teammate, and then all hell broke loose. Monticelli went down, Paulin went with him. Paulin had to fight from dead last to get himself up into 15th by the time the checkered flag fell. Geiser and Kai Rowley were bar to bar in the early stages, fighting over fourth. And from out of nowhere, Herlings was all of a sudden in second, behind De Salle. Fevre was third. And eventually, this turned out into a nice 3-way battle, but not before Julian Lieber decided to toss himself down the track from 6th. Herlings wasn't as efficient as he was in race 1 in the early stage of race 2, but he was still able to keep De Salle honest. But that played into the hands of Romain Fevre, who set the fastest lap of the race as he closed in on the KTM and the Kawasaki. The fans were on their feet, and they were being treated to a real royal spectacle. Fevre thought he found a way through, but then it was Herlings who made the move from second to first. He felt the pressure from behind. Siwa had a slight glitch, picked himself back up in 22nd, and rejoined the race. Eventually came home in 16th. Fevre followed Herlings through into second place with that move on De Salle. And for a while, it looked like he would put up a real fight for the championship leader. No one saw this coming though. De Salle was in third. He thought he was comfortable, but Geiser had other ideas. He nudged the 25 off the side of the track and into third. Koldenhoff was having a good solid ride through the field, but so too was Anstey yet again. That move put Kai Rowley down to 6th, as Anstey advanced to 5th, which is where he would stay. Koldenhoff, Strybos and Simpson were in a 3-way battle just inside the top 10, but it was Koldenhoff who came home 7th ahead of Strybos and Simpson. Alessandro Lupino came home in 10th for Geben van Venrooy, but it was Jeffrey Herlings who was victorious for the 25th time this year. He took his 13th Grand Prix victory, another 1-1 score, win number 80 now in the books for the Bullet. Fevre back on the podium, second overall this weekend ahead of De Salle. And Herlings now 58 points clear of Kai Rowley. De Salle third as we head to Bulgaria for round 17. But what a fantastic day for that guy there as he continues to dominate in MXGP. Welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com, live from the circuit here, round 17 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Bulgaria at Sevlievo. And our final guest is here, Davide De Carli. He's assistant team manager at Red Bull KTM Factory Racing on the De Carli side, the Italian side. And we've never had him on the studio show before. So, Davide, welcome to our studio show. First of all, just give us a little bit of information about you. We know you as Claudio De Carli's son, but who are you? What is your story?
Yeah. Hello to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Davide De Carli. I'm 25 years old. I work side by side with my father. I'm his right hand. I work a lot with him, and I make my best as possible to make things better happen in the here and here.
But you rode a little bit as a kid. You know, you raced bikes.
I rode also now. I rode always bike, but when I finished to study, I prefer to take another direction and follow better the team organization.
So how many years did you race then? And
till
age?
15.
Yeah,
till 15.
And what age did you? Was it 15 that you decided to become a mechanic or
a mechanic and a team organization? A team manager is my dream to be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, so far this year has been pretty successful, especially for Jorge Prado.
Yes.
What's he like to work with?
I like very much to work with him because he's such a good guy, and I like him because anything he put his 100% when he's riding, when he's make training, and he's so talented, and that helps a lot the riding.
Well, he's leading MX2 now by 28 points, but it hasn't always been that way. After Red Sand in Spain, round 3, he was actually behind Jonas by 45 points. So he's worked really hard, hasn't he?
Yes. With Jorge, we made a very good winter preparation, and he was ready to go directly to Argentina to win, but he was not lucky because in December he got elbow injury, and yeah, he was not lucky, so he was not ready 100% the first 3 races. So then the physical side was coming better again, and in Arco he keep winning and take points, and now we are leading by 28 points, and that's good.
Yes.
What was the problem after the second race last week? We just saw after the race he looked like in pain, and you know, behind the podium he looked like in real trouble.
Yeah, you know, before the start he was feeling good. The race starts, and then 4 laps to go. I don't remember. He had a big pain in the stomach, like a cramp.
Yeah.
But just because was a bit sick.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. What about Antonio? How's he doing? How's his knee after the crash in Switzerland?
Tony, he was very fast till Saturday in Switzerland. He won't win, and yeah, first moto he was catching a bit to Jeffrey. Was almost passing Ferre, but then in that downhill and then that jump, he make quite a big crash.
Yeah.
And
he just stopped the engine. He stalled on the.
It was in 2 high gear.
Yeah.
It was like in 4, and he go to shift in 3, but doesn't go in 3, and then the engine stop. And yeah, he make a big crash, and then he go back to Italy to check because he told the knee was broken, the ligament was broken. And then he went to the doctor. They checked better the knee, and the knee was safe. Just a big stretch from the ligament and liquid inside the knee. So he doesn't train. He's not fit 100%, but he will try to do his best.
Sure.
Well, good news about the knee. That's definite. But is it fair to say that Red Sand in Spain was the best we saw Tony this year? Because we saw him, he won the GP, he took back the red plate. But I guess since then, Jeffrey has just had that advantage, that edge over him. We've just got a clip here from Spain.
No, yeah. Tony also winter preparation so good. They win the first 3 races of the Italian Championship. Was super fast, especially in Red Sand when he ride impressive, and he showed to everyone else that he still can win. And yeah, Jeffrey the reality is a bit faster at the moment, and it's difficult to beat. That's the reality. That boy is super fast.
Yeah, this year definitely. What about everybody else though? Because both Tony and Jeff both had some injuries. Jeff with the collarbone, Tony with the thumb and the knee. Are you surprised that the rest of the group haven't been able to take advantage of that?
Is what they are doing, I think, is something unbelievable. The level is so high, race by race, and it's difficult for the other rider to catch. Yeah, sometimes you see the Salo, Fevre in the hard pack, maybe like this, they are more close, but other track like Lommel and they are is in another level at the moment.
And finally, before we go, the gap, 58 points. Tony hasn't given up the fight, has he? He still believes he can win a championship, even though
of course, anything can happen, and he still believes also when he's training, he's still motivated to win, and that's important because everything can happen for race to go.
All right. Well, look, Davide, thank you for joining us. Davide Ducati from
Thank
Red Bull
you to
KTM.
everybody.
Yeah, Red Bull KTM Factor Racing, assistant manager there on the Italian side. Of course, thank you to Hunter Lawrence and Tommy Searle as well. We are out of time here on our studio show this weekend in Bulgaria, but as always, catch all the action live tomorrow. Qualifying today for MX2 at 4:25 local time and MXGP at 5:10. We're 1 hour ahead of Central European time, 2 hours ahead of UK, so don't forget to set your clocks. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. See you next week in Turkey. Bye for now.
Bye.